So, story time. I started out queuing into competitive matches with a full group of random people. These were friends of friends, and people I didn't know very well, and as a result we did pretty terribly in placement matches. We lost for all the reasons that a team should lose. But as a result, I came out of placement matches much lower than I should probably be placed. I started at around 46. And after that, I had enough with groups, and I decided to solo queue for a bit. It was hard for me to seek out other players to play with because right now I'm living in Taiwan, and it's difficult for me to play with the people who I would normally play the game with. So it was difficult for me to just get a full man party and just, raising your rank steadily that way. I know that's obviously the best way. That's what competitive's kind of planned for. But I'm going to give you a bit of a different impression. This is from somebody who has played almost exclusively solo queue. My rank began to rise from 46 pretty fast until I was about 53. And where 53 is a respectable rating, I feel that I should be a bit higher. This feeling is brought on by the fact that in every game to which I'm a part, I seem to have the gold medals for eliminations, damage done. My KDR is usually better than my peers. My accuracy is usually significantly higher. I have a feeling I'm an okay player at this game. I understand positioning much better than most people in composition, and when you're solo queuing, it feels to me that that doesn't really matter. Because it feels like a coin flip. You solo queue into a game, and it's a coin flip as to whether or not you're going to be the one with the competent team. I say the competent team instead of a competent team because it very seldom is that there are two competent teams. So basically, you're either on the team that is winning by a landslide or the team that is getting crushed by a landslide. And it feels very... it feels like there's not much you can do as an individual player. Now, I know most people who voice their feelings about competitive do so in a way where they are very positive, where they are talking about this great experience they have with the group. And as a full group of competent players, it is a very enjoyable experience. But since I've spent so much time solo queuing, I think I bring an interesting perspective. It feels way too coin flippy, and it doesn't feel like if you're overachieving every single game that you get any individual recognition, like, maybe less XP loss when you lose or more XP gain when you win. It just feels like you get stuck in this rut. And the problem with the rut is that if you are constantly placed onto teams that don't know how to play the game, that don't know how compositions work, that don't know what's a good thing to do or a good place to position, you're going to be constantly stuck in this, am I on a good team or not scenario. And there's no real way to get yourself out of it other than getting lucky. Like, I have to say, at 53, people do seem to get a little bit more competent when it comes to compositions. Players play the roles that are more appropriate for them to play situationally, and people have a better idea of counterpicks and things like that. But it still feels like a lot of people don't understand even the most basic things of positioning. Let me give you an example. Earlier today I was playing on Hanamura, and it was our game to lose. We were doing great, we got defense, both teams couldn't crack the first point, so all we had to do was hold out for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we lose this game because one of the members of my team, it was our game to lose, remember, runs out in the beginning and gets run over by the enemy team. He was like way too far forward, he should have been far back, we should have been holding the doorway. But instead, he wanted to get early kills. And he didn't understand that the run back is so much more distant for our team than it is for theirs, that even if he killed 2 of them, him dying wasn't worth it. They could trade unfavorably, and because of that, we'd still lose. And people just don't understand basic concepts. And as a result of this, the solo queue competitive experience feels pretty random. This is not to mention the 3 to 4 extra levels that I would have on my competitive ranking right now if it wasn't for people disconnecting during games that we were winning, and people disconnecting from both sides, causing an XP gain regardless of who wins and who loses. So where you might be winning more than you're losing, if the games that you're winning has somebody disconnect on the opposite side, the amount of XP you get for it is laughable. Alright guys, rant over. If you like my content, please subscribe. And when you do, don't forget to leave your experiences in the comments. I want to hear them.